Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, it's 6:10. I've been awake for maybe an hour and a half. My allergies are flared up really badly. So, yeah, my eyes are swollen. My nostrils are blocked. All the reasons why allergy flares suck they are on display this morning. But hopefully you are able to move past unnecessary. What is wrong with these links? And why would these stupid links never change? Why? Why? Right. I've tried my best to change this thing so many times I don't even know what to say. I do not know what to say and why this thing is not displaying what I want. We'll come back to this later. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum and all those things. Yes, me. I woke up early. I wanted to come and sit here and chill. I didn't want to wake those who can sleep. So I've come down to lie here. And one of the things I did was a Facebook troll. I just trolled Facebook just so I could see what was going on. And Vivian, my people, today my faith in you has received a boost. So those of you who are foreign, you would have seen that I've made a couple of few videos about a Ghanaian musician who died and the fallout after his death, especially around his family dynamics. He had frolicked with 2 women. He was legally married to one and went and had 6 children with another. He was somebody who sang, and so you can actually tell a lot of things from his music. I did not understand a lot of things from his music until the story unfolded. I also heard that he said a song that he was going to marry the second one. As for him, whatever happens, he will croon very quickly. And the women were very satisfied. Let me give you the back story just in case you didn't know. So this guy died in July. When he died in July, we knew one wife. In his songs, there was one woman. And she was in every song. The thing with that woman, though, is that her name was on his first, I think almost all album sleeves, but at least the early ones, as his executive producer. We saw this guy grant interviews to explain that he had made the music for 3 years and the music had been stuck because he did not have the money to produce the music and to get it out. This woman, his wife, was the person who made sure that the music came out. I mean, it's not that cryptic. The fact that her money was instrumental in bringing this album out was established. The thing, though, is she is a very understated woman. She's no one to court the open attention. I don't think most of us even paid attention to see her involvement, and certainly in the latter years of his life, she had been sidelined. There isn't anybody who will be able to convince me that she hadn't been sidelined. She was sidelined. She was definitely not. Penny, how you doing? And Vivian, good morning, good morning. She had been sidelined. Then he dies. We find out that he had moved to Ghana for the last more than a decade to go be with another woman, have all these children with this other woman. And this story, for a lot of people, is understood from the sensational. But this story is beyond sensational. For me, this story is setting a long precedence over whether we should get married or not in my country, whether we should build relationships with people and help them achieve their dreams or not, whether we should sacrifice. You have to have a long heart to be able to do this. And you have to be willing to do it for charity. I've told you, those of you who know you are unqualified for charity, don't be doing it. Still, it's my advice. Anyway, this one is a test for the institution of marriage amongst my people. It will help a lot of women decide how we engage Whether we focus on making our own money or we focus on partners and the rest of it, this story teaches many, many lessons for many people. But anyway, so she comes for the 1 week celebration. She does. And that's the first time I saw her. Her demeanor drew a lot of love from a lot of people. What we saw was the woman battered. What we saw was a woman who had dealt with depression for years. What we saw was the classic telltale signs of an overlooked woman. And when the story, at that time, nobody really understood why. When the full story broke and we understand, she had been sidelined. And it was obvious when she came for the 1 week that the telltale signs of being sidelined was there. Now, this thing has also exposed a lot of things about my people and our way of life. Infidelity is something that we accept across many levels of our society. The key players in infidelity are also some of the societal icons. A lot of rich people, a lot of influential people, a lot. And it comes influence across various places, politicians, religious people. I mean, we've seen people come into this argument to expose their true standing. Religious people, even pastors, people who are supposed to be men of God, who preach the word of God, who should be standing with the principles, the biblical principles, have just exposed themselves in this story. Anyway, Sister Adjoa and Barbara, Glenda, how you doing? Ezra? You know, this story has really allowed us to understand the society and how people play in the society and their actual standing, their true standing. We've actually seen frailties in our legal system. We've seen issues in our legal system. We have seen straightforward cases being turned into a circus. And I keep saying to people, I don't need to be a legal expert. If a case is brought to court and you think that the case is ridiculous, I understand. You dismiss the case. But you don't send two women to go be widows. The judge who went into that place should be reprimanded. She should be reprimanded because she was overstepping. The fact that people say that her legal claim was unsubstantiated, okay, fine. If a case comes to you, it's unsubstantiated, you dismiss it because it was a ridiculous thing, but you don't go into something that does not concern the judiciary service. But we've seen that. We've seen the judiciary frailties on display. We've seen the biases of our society. The biases of our society. So people in my society tell you to get married and for you to come and serve. But that's because a lot of them are chauvinists. A lot of them are chauvinists. They expect women to be ones that are taken advantage of. They don't expect you to seek redress. And if you were mistakenly convinced to seek redress, like this woman was convinced to seek redress, oh, you become public enemy number one. We've seen this woman insulted, battered, and what was even, for me, the epitome of her struggles was to see her own children, when she had chosen not to go to the funeral, choose to go to the funeral. But not just to go to the funeral and be active participants, frolic with the second woman. I don't understand the children's strategy. I've never spoken to them. I am just telling you as an observer what I observed. If you observe something else, feel free. Facebook is still free. Twitter is available. TikTok is available. IG is available. Even Snapchat. Me, I'm not there. Go to Snapchat. Go make your video. Go and explain your point of view. I'm not your mouthpiece. You haven't paid me. So I tell the stories from my angle. I'm telling you my observations. All right. The children, and I can imagine the pain this woman would have felt. That her efforts to do things her way, and everybody who encounters this woman says that she is somebody who is classy. She does things her way when she is in place. Justice is something that a lot of people who worked with her husband was somebody who was difficult to work with. The rhetoric is well established. It's not difficult for you to know that he was difficult. He was a difficult person. But this woman was the peaceful element, and that happens with a lot of icons, you know. She was the peaceful element. She was the one who would speak to him. He's the one who would speak to other people and help broker peace. People in the music industry know her because she was the one who negotiated or assisted some of the deals, especially with distribution of the music. This woman should be in the spaces like Bulldog. I know some of you are not Ghanaian and don't know. We have producers, we have managers. Sami Bar Flex now, who manages Shatawale, has now brought himself a lot of influence. Yeah, executive producers from time immemorial have had their own place. Even around the musicians that they work with, they also occupy a very important space. They are acknowledged. But this woman, although it wrote on the album sleeve that she was the executive producer, chief financier, that was it. The acknowledgement was in the songs. The acknowledgement remained on the album sleeves. Most of us did not even know her. And this woman, when she came to Ghana the first time, even for the funeral, she slipped in just like I slip in into an airport. Nobody knew her. We only saw her. And when she left, she's a very simple, very humble woman. She's a woman whose resources has gone into these things. She's a woman who, so she had a black plastic bag with her and people were mocking her for that. She was living her unacknowledged life, not enjoying the fruits of her labor. And this is not typical. This is not restricted to this woman. This is typical. There are so many women with similar stories where I'm from, and I'm sure from most of the places the rest of you come from. The thing though is this. There comes a time where a group of people have got to make a stand, where people have got to be rewarded for their sacrifice. And usually when those times come, people overlook it. I was really heartbroken that the judiciary services did not help her. They went to our traditional leadership. When the sister-in-law incited Otumfuo's oath, I thought that was going to be something that would bring them redress. Even that didn't. The judiciary system failed the cause. The traditional system failed the cause. Going to his family. And everybody in Lumbe's family knows the role this woman has played. They know. None of them can say they didn't know. They all know. They know what her money has done. They know what her ability to let this guy be resident in Germany has done. Being a German citizen would have made it so much easier for him to travel and to promote his music. So even if she did not put a dime of her money in his music, that alone is a game changer. Game changer. They all know this. Apparently, when they came, she was always the one who would take money to give to people because the guy seemed to be tight-fisted. He was not really looking to put money. Sometimes we've got musicians, at least Great Ampong has been on record for saying he worked with this guy and he didn't get paid. And in that conversation, people were saying if that woman was still involved when this happened, you would have been paid. She would not watch and let you go unpaid. These are all testimonies to the woman and her efforts. Again, I will not recommend you go do this. I'm telling you the story so you can hear what can potentially happen to you. Yeah? Belinda, what can potentially happen to you if you play this game? This woman is one of the very lucky few. The story resonates with me because my mother's story is very similar. Unfortunately for my mother will get thank yous from people similar to what this woman gets, and then you get sidelined. You get forgotten. You get relegated to the back end. You do. So I suppose this is justice for women like my mother, justice for a lot of you who will not get redress yourself. But I think, Sister Cynthia, good morning. I think for your own sake, I think for your own well-being, I don't think that you should play this long game because this long game is difficult. Anyway, she decided finally that she was going to Ghana. But I am so full of joy to see something that my people have done. And I want to explain its implications to you. You know, sometimes your own family will decide not to be loyal. But when the Lord decides to bless you, strangers, random strangers, the people who did this for her yesterday are random strangers. There were people who had traveled from Toronto. There was a lady who had gone from Toronto at least at the airport. She had been sent by a delegation from Toronto to go to the airport to make sure that this woman was given a heroine's return. You know, the fact that she's a heroine, I don't think is contended. But yeah, you can be an unacknowledged heroine, and we've seen it happen to so many people. The airport yesterday, search for Akosua Serwaa if you are interested. Sister Eunice, good morning. Search for it. Search for Daddy Lumbe's wife. Return to Ghana, any of those things. You will find the videos yesterday when she came in. I saw videos of when she left Germany. And she left Germany like most of us do in these foreign lands. She was a random woman. She was just an ordinary woman who was just checking in. Somebody took a few humble videos when she checked in at the airport in Germany. But that woman at this stage, having raised the kind of legend that she has, should not be living that obscure life. She should not. Voltarian, how you do? She should not be like that. This woman is iconic, legendary status. This woman is a superstar because she made a superstar. And if she was duly acknowledged, she should have been a bit like Grace has found her. Oh, Grace has found that woman, and I am so grateful that it has. It is some justice for a lot of the women who are like that, but it is too little. Even that is little. Yeah. Like I said, this woman and her position should have been a bit like Burna Boy's mom. Have you seen the position Burna Boy's mom occupies around him? Yeah. She should be backstage for all his shows. He should be front row for all his shows. She should have been there when media coverage was being done. Yeah, that is a woman who should be arriving in spaces with due acknowledgement because she's worked. God has rewarded her, and I'm so glad to see that at least some people do get rewarded, not many of them. Anyway, the airport yesterday, you would have thought Nelson Mandela was arriving, that Martin Luther King was arriving. The welcome that one got yesterday was so thoroughly deserved. And it was probably the first she is receiving for all these years of sacrifice. Yeah, it was a lot of the Ghanaian women protesting what our society gives us and expects us to accept and be happy about. A lot of you did not realize it was a protest. That welcome they gave her was a welcome for her, an acknowledge for her, a thank you for her, a reward for her. And for her, all those things are legitimate. But also, in there was a lot of legally married women who know that they could potentially end up the way she has, who were also protesting. It was a protest. I want to pick that up because I don't think a lot of people picked that up. There were legends, there were very iconic people who were there to receive that woman. And each one of those people who had come to the airport to receive that woman was making a statement of their own. Some of them had placards. And some of those messages on the placards brought a tear or two to my eye because, yeah, its implications were not lost on me. I saw the number of people, some of them who had come from far and wide to make sure that this woman did not arrive at the airport like an obscure person, because she's not. That this woman arrived to the song and dance because she really should be received with song and dance. Marcia, good night, sis. Happy New Year. I think this is the first time this year I'm seeing you live. Happy New Year, my sister. Yeah. They were paying that woman her due. She's paid her dues. And she was receiving her due yesterday. It brought a tear to my eye. I would imagine in her quiet moments, it will bring a few tears to her eye. Because you see, she has been abandoned by a lot of people who are close to her. She has been abandoned by a lot of people who should be loyal to her. Yeah, a lot of people have switched and they've gone to different places for various reasons. But for me, the things that warmed my heart the most was that Lumbe's elder sister was at the airport. Ernestina Brimpoma Fosu was right there at the airport. That woman is what I would like to be for my sisters-in-law. Oh, I wish that I would have the balls to do this for my sister-in-law. I have only one sister-in-law. I have one brother. The dynamics of marriage have changed. Yes, they have. Especially when the woman has greater financial capacity than the man. Most of us are not going to be stupid like that anymore. In some cases, the level of disrespect or emotional abuse that follows, but that is what women have suffered for a long time. Bismarck. Women who have depended on men with better pockets have been dealt that way. That is what tends to happen. He who feeds you is your master. We cannot run away from certain things. He who feeds you is your master. Whether that person is your parent. A lot of us who are parents have control over our children because we feed them. A lot of men have control over their wives because they feed them. And in the same way, a lot of women will have control over their husbands when they feed them. But what you tell women is for them to feed you and then you be their master. Ew. If you are going to be a master, you've got to learn to feed yourself and feed those who are under you. It's that simple. No man willingly lets go of a supportive woman. Really? Bismarck. They do after they are done using them. When they are belly full. When they've got what they need. When their album is produced. When they are already a legend. Oh, they let go. They let go. A woman who didn't just stay abroad but stood firm and supported him through difficult seasons is not easily replaced. Absolutely. There is more to the story than what is being said. I don't doubt that for a minute, but we can only go with what we've seen. God will never put her to shame, and I'm so glad that this particular one has not been put to shame. Of all the sacrificing women, of all the sacrificial women, of all the humble, subdued women that there are, this one at least gives some hope. I am very glad that this particular one is receiving some acknowledgement. Yeah. I was very teary watching what happened at the airport. And I want to explain those things for you. God's precious, you are very welcome. I want you to understand. Don't think that all of you who go doing what she did will get what she's getting. Most of you will get what my mother got. You will get nothing. Most of you will get what my mother got. Nothing. Or if you are lucky, people will say to my mother, oh, that woman was amazing. She was the reason why. She was she made sure. But those things are done in private. My mother has received no public acknowledgement. No. She's in her corner, eating her beans. She's now enjoying her good deeds, and she's lucky that at least some have come to her. Yesterday, so I've mentioned one name that inspires me. I want to be like Ernestina Brimpoma Fosu for my sister-in-law. I will want to stand for the truth for my sister-in-law. I will want a woman who has sacrificed for my brother to get her due. Hi, Rahila. How you doing? I will not want any other random woman to come around last minute and come and enjoy what they haven't worked for. You see me, I am a person who is fair. I'm a very fair person. And so watching this Ernestina Brimpoma woman be fair to this one. And maybe when her brother was alive, she tried to tell the brother, we don't know that one. She may have contended with her brother's choices. We don't know. Or maybe she didn't. We don't know. But as of right now, as of what we see a woman who has been incredibly loyal to this sister-in-law. You told your mom and siblings that you will stand for your in-laws in any time that they need you. You will be Mama Brimpoma in disguise. I hope that inspires a lot of us. I really hope that inspires a lot of us to stand for the women that our brothers are with. That the women our brothers are with know that they will have the protection of the other women in the family. That we will not stand and watch injustice done to them. That we will stand for them, for the sacrifices they are made. Because, for example, I cannot sit here and tell you that a person who has been with my brother more than 20 years has not made sacrifices. She would have made sacrifices. Oh, some of you are angry. Some of those sacrifices are obvious. Even I, from my distance, can see some of the sacrifices. Some of those sacrifices will be subtle, but you cannot live with a guy for 20 years without making sacrifices. And for me, the woman who's making those long sacrifices in my brother's life deserves the protection of a woman like me, deserves the acknowledgement of a woman like me. She deserves to know that when somebody needs to speak up for her, I will not be a coward and let things go. I'm not a coward. And it's wonderful to see another woman standing for a sister the way Ernestina Brempoma Fusu has done for this woman. I saw her at the airport yesterday. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I have sisters-in-law. I would really appreciate it if some of my sisters-in-law would do for me what this woman is doing for the sister-in-law. Even if one of my sisters-in-law would do that for me, oh, I would be a very lucky woman. To know that in family circles, she will not let things be disregarded. In public spaces, she will not let things be disregarded. And that she will do what she can to let you get some acknowledgement, get some satisfaction, even if it is very little. I know the man is dead, but at least what happened to that woman at the airport yesterday will make her feel like her sacrifice has been worth something and she's got some reward for it. So Ernestina Brempoma Fusu is somebody in this story who there are very few of Ernestinas. To stand against your own family, to have your own family go against you because you want to do what is right. Oh, that is a difficult thing that very few people can do. But I am so inspired by that woman. I am so inspired by that woman. I so aspire to be able to do that. And if anybody will be able to do that for me, I will be eternally grateful. Eternally grateful, because I know what it means. I know what it would take to do that. The second person in this story, for me, is Papa Shi. Papa Shi, the musician, comes from the same place or a similar place to these two. Papa Shi, the musician, was brought in the early stages of the musical career. He was a dancer for the musician. Papa Shi could easily, I'm very sure when he started with this second woman, and people would say that Papa Shi had a poor relationship with Daddy Lumba in the latter days, of course, because he would have dared to tell him the truth about some of the things that he was doing. There's a joke he said about him going to the house to go and preach and him being sent out. I know people tell it as a joke, but I don't struggle to believe it. Bismarck says if we agree to some extent that financial power is in a relationship, can shift respect and authority, whether it is the man. I've already told you that. He who feeds you is your master. That is pure power. Well, I don't know. I can't tell you about other people, you see. I don't know other people. I don't know where they are coming from. I know me, and I can tell you my perspectives, and I can tell you my biases. Again, I don't claim to be an authority on the history of Daddy Lumba. I can only work on what has happened, especially in recent years, in the last 6 months. Yeah, that's what I can tell you. But some of you need to start reading with me. Please go and get Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power. If you've never read it, I beg you, go and read it. Go and listen to it. Whichever format you can consume, go consume it and read it. The laws of power will help you understand a lot of things. He who has the money has the power. You didn't know? He who has the money. My children are now adults. But I determine where they go because I pay. If they want to do certain things, they still need to consult me because I still pay. My control is over the money. We treat your brother's wife like one of us because she presented herself from day one as one of your mother's children. You love her so much. She is very lucky, and you are also very lucky. I hope you will protect each other. And if your brother sways and begins to be stupid, that you don't sit and watch and let your brother do whatever the hell he wants before you come back and stand with your sister-in-law. Call your brother to order. Call your brother to order. And I know it's difficult. It's very difficult. Especially when we are adults. It's very difficult. But at least, the least you can do is tell people your truth. Let them know. Let them know that you disagree with some of their actions. Let them know. Let them know that you don't support some of the things that they do. I was talking to a family member recently, and this family member is busy doing some things. And I said to this family member, well, I don't know if the wiser ones have told you, but me, I will tell you that what you're doing is stupid. They probably will watch you go and do. But I can't watch you go and do. I'm telling you. And put this on record as me telling you. This audio I have just sent to you is me telling you. This is my evidence that I have told you. And I'm sending this audio to 3 other people to bear me witness that I've told you. And one of those 3 people I sent the audio to was his wife. I sent the audio to his wife, his mother, and his sister. Those were the 3 witnesses I sent this thing to. And I'm telling you, because I don't want to sit here and wait and watch. I want to help you preempt and prevent before it becomes. Yeah. One of my sisters-in-law is here. Mwah, yeah. You know I love you. If you have a sister-in-law who will support you, if you have a sister-in-law who will stand with you, who in your hour of need will give you some protection, you are a very lucky woman. Because most of us, we are cowards. Most of us, our loyalty goes on bloodlines, not on what is right, not on what is fair. But yeah, Akosua Serwaa and her victory. I am a woman who also, I'm married. For those of you who don't know, I'm married. So my biases are clearly declared. And sometimes people are like, it's so unfair that you only speak. I can only speak from my angles. Yeah, you know I love you. Again, Olivia, you don't know. You don't know this for sure. She may or may not have done. As I said, all I can see is what she's doing in this season. I can't say anything before this season. But like I was telling you, in my case and the family member's case, if you stand at a distance and you watch, I am not on any television station announcing, but I have told this family member of mine my piece. And as I said, for me, I sent an audio recording of my piece. And I told the person that I'm sending it to these 3 people as my witnesses. But if something were to fall out later, how will you know that I had sent that audio? Because you don't know. How will you know that his sister had admonished him? You don't know. Papa She, on the other hand, I have no problem believing that Papa She would have told Lumba the truth. The legend that he was, the big brother that he was to this Papa She, I think Papa She had the balls to go tell Lumba the truth. And well, we all know what happened to Papa She as a result. You personally learn a lot from me. But is marriage supposed to be an autocracy where the one with more money controls? Maybe it's not, Bismarck, but it is in our nature. That is human nature. That is human nature. Some people try their best to temper, but that is human nature. Where the money is where the power is. How the power is exercised differs on individual basis, really. But where the money is where the power is. And me, I always advise all of you to make sure you have some of this power in your pocket, because if you don't have money in your pocket. But in this story with Akosua Serwaa, the money was with her, you know. I have no problems in believing initially the money was with her. It was her money that produced the music. Maybe money came into the music later, but I don't think even that. All these musicians who have lived, if you actually look back at their lives, and if you, the money is not exactly money, it's smoke screens, you know. Yeah, there's a lot of smoke screens in a lot of these things. The property and all these things they are having. Yeah. It will be direct investment of her money. But people are teaching women like her, and they have been teaching it for a long time, to give your money and still relinquish control and to go sit. A lot of us have the power, and we foolishly, willingly relinquish the power, and we find ourselves in these situations. Well, you've seen what has happened to this woman. The woman has suffered what she's suffering because she did not have power. She didn't. The power was elsewhere. Yeah. It's been restored some way to her yesterday. So Papa She, my person of interest number 2. I want to be Papa She for all my friends and my family members. I want to be Papa She. I want to be able to tell the truth, even though it would make me unpopular. I want to have the balls to do it. I want to be able to tell you the truth and be willing for you to disregard me, to disown me, to whatever, because I have told you the truth. I've told you this is what I have just done with this family member. She was a hidden wife. We knew of her in the music. But even that, during those years, it wasn't easy for anyone to believe in those talents. But she stood for him and sponsored him. Yeah, she did. And should have been acknowledged. She should have received royalties. She should have been retired. That woman should not be sitting in Germany. I hear she's working or just finished working. I'm not even sure. But she should have been retired to enjoy the fruits of her labor. Mamfosia is everywhere where I am sitting. He who has the money has the power. There's a friend of mine about a year ago, about this same time last year. She got disrespected at work. Completely disrespected. But you see, this friend of mine, in the years that she has made a lot of money, doing the same sort of jobs I have, but she doesn't have children. She doesn't. She has enough money in her bank account. She went to work. They had appointed a small girl into her organization. The small girl is above her in rank, but the small girl is not even her equal in terms of real rank. But she had been given a position above her. She comes and she says, you move your things. I want that office. And when she said, you move your things, I want that office, their superiors were there. They watched this little girl do it to my friend, and they did nothing. You see, I've been in that situation many times, and you go to sit at your desk, you shake your head, you are heartbroken, but then you have to follow what you've been told because nobody's about to protect you. My friend with the money in her pocket, this was her response. Straight up. And within a week, she had found herself another position at the same rank as this new girl in another organization. She's able to make those decisions because the money was with her. The power in your pocket is a very powerful thing, you know. When there is money in your pocket, you are not a victim. You don't stay in places for people. There's a friend of mine who also just changed jobs. She found her ideal job and she wanted to go. And she went to see whoever. So I spoke to her just yesterday. I spoke to her. She says, they didn't give me my December pay, but I didn't care. They didn't pay her for December. They took the money. But again, when your finances is in a position, you can take some of those hits. Hey, me. They slap me and I go back and apologize. When they slap me, I apologize. Why? Because the power is not in my pocket. Yo. Her case is painful and heartbreaking. And yeah, you know me and my positioning. So these are some of the things that is easy for me to declare. I am a person who believes in building. I found me a young man before he had been anything. And me, I didn't have money to build a studio for him, but I have cooked, I have cleaned, I have supported, I have listened, I have read a CV, I have edited a document. I have prayed, I have cried, I have fasted. These are all sacrifices, you know. So if after all these years of these things, my husband decided he is moving on elsewhere, and you can't find anybody to remind him of some of the things that I just mentioned, that would be very heartbreaking for you. Well, Olivia, marriage doesn't need to sing and dance. And these are some of the things that this case have brought to the fore. You know, a marriage certificate is enough, my darling Olivia. A marriage certificate is enough. Yeah. And they were separated. Separation is not divorce, you know. When you are separated, you're still married. You are still married legally. Well, yeah, I have few witnesses. You are one of mine. I have very few witnesses, but you are one of mine. Yeah. You are still married if you are married. And when he chose, she should have abandoned. You are married until you are not married. These are some of the funny things around this rhetoric that people don't seem to understand. And the person who was cleaning and after. So if you go to a hospital and a nurse washes your nyash, that is also your new wife. Is that it? Huh? You have a nanny in your house who cooks for your children sometimes and cleans up after your husband. That is also a wife. I mean, the ridiculous rhetoric around this thing surprises me in our space. You know? They were separated. They were separated. But they hadn't gone through and seen divorce. Olivia, so if a person has been married legally and a person has not been legally divorced, that person is still a wife. Yeah? This lesson, this thing has made me call 3 of my friends. And in each of these cases, I reminded them, because all of these have had relationships broken down. They are all living their independent lives, but they are still married. So I called my friends and I told my friends, have you seen the Lumba case? Go and borrow money and go finish the bloody divorce. Olivia, prove what legality in court? The person who was the judge says she doesn't understand German. She doesn't appreciate what's happening in the document. The fact that she'd taken the course to a different jurisdiction. In Germany, they are still married. Yeah. I don't even know. Yeah. So my biases are very, very clearly declared. I'm married. I built with a man. Yeah. And I expect loyalty from building with a man. She's a divorcee in Germany. And you sabi, Olivia, maybe you have gone to see German documents of a divorce. I haven't. I can only tell you what is in this space. So maybe you've seen divorce. Me, I haven't seen one. So I can only tell you what I have seen. When you have time, feel free to go and explain the divorce and where you saw the divorce confirmation, and maybe you will help us understand a little bit more. But for me, whether she was divorced, whether she was not divorced, yesterday was just an acknowledgement of the sacrifice you make into somebody. She's a single mother in Germany. Yeah, she was left in Germany with the children. That's not rocket science. We all know. And we know, while he was having 6 children somewhere else, she was a single mother, of course. And she was left on her own. But that doesn't mean you are divorced. When you are abandoned by your spouse, doesn't automatically mean you are divorced. That's what I'm trying to tell a lot of you women to understand. He's been gone for 10 years. You are still married on paper. He may still have entitlements to what you build. The same thing with the men. You may have run away for 15 years. I know a friend who is intentionally doing that. She's refusing to divorce. She's sitting and she's waiting. And anytime this thing comes up, she says, we'll wait. When he needs somebody to sign medically, we will see who he will go find. When the cookie crumbles, legally, we will find who the power still remains with. She is not interested in doing anything with this guy. She is hanging on to her marriage certificate and waiting. She wants to teach people a lesson. People have different reasons for doing stuff, As I said, I called 3 of my friends and I said to my friend, hey, look at the Lumba case. And this one turned around and says, yeah, I know. I'm holding that certificate on purpose. We'll wait and we'll see. Some people hold theirs to wait and see, but yeah, depending on where you go. And that's the sad thing about the judiciary in Ghana and some of the things that have just come up from this case. It's a concern. It really is a concern. It's a big concern. And so if you are married and you have your Ghanaian marriage certificate, maybe you might be in with a chance of going to go and prove something. She used certificate to claim child benefits. Olivia, so you know. Me, I don't know. That's one I don't know. So feel free, when we are done, come make a video and explain. Yeah, I will watch it when you make a video. What's my opinion about a spouse who doesn't support the other to build? I think in this case, that is a smart spouse. I think a spouse who supports themselves to build first is a wise one. I think a spouse who is able to support you as much as, well, again, Olivia, me, I don't know. So I can't say anything about that one. A spouse who supports themselves to build as much as they support the partner to build. That's a wise spouse. And that is me at the moment. That is me. And me, I invest in me. And then I invest in the people that I love. Oh, but I invest in me. I am not the kind of spouse who is now convinced to invest in other people at my expense. We will not do. Because we've seen many people do. We've seen many people do. Sister Vida, we've seen many people do, and it ends in tears. So Bismarck, have I answered your question? Yeah, a spouse should support you to build after they have supported themselves to build. Or maybe help you alongside helping themselves to build. That is my position. That's the position of wisdom. In the position, in everything that is happening in this space, you abandon yourself to go build for whom? What happened to sense? Nah. You keep sense and you build for yourself too. You make sure that you are also good. You make sure that when the cookie crumbles and the person picks their bags and goes, you will still be able to live. You will be able to care for your children. That you do have a thing that will allow you to work. And maybe you have invested. No, I will buy bonds and save some of the money and not be too quick to build music studios right now. We'll buy bonds and make sure that we have financial security. That's my position. And sisters, don't let anybody tell you that that is selfish. That is wisdom. That is sense in action. That is looking at experience and learning lessons from it. It doesn't have to be your personal experience. You should watch Akosua Serwaa Fosu's experience and learn some lessons. You would take care of children single-handedly for 18 years and then they'll run away and abandon you and go stand in places. Yeah, you should learn lessons. So when you are busy caring for all these children, you must be doing this with one side eye, like that. Your kolo eye must be open. And still, where is the love? And I'm like, show me the love. Show me the love when Akosua Serwaa was being left the way she was left. Show me the love. That in spite of everything else, Olivia can sit here and tell me that she knows she might have been divorced. Tell me the love. Show me the love. This is Akosua, show me the love. And when you show me, yeah, of course now. It has been the norm for a while. It has been the norm for a while. Some of you, I tell you and you don't listen. I said my mother is an Akosua Fosu. My dad was in exile for years. He was in political exile for years. My mother remained married. My mother was busy hosting family members, educating family members, being my mother was Serwaa Koto. Ask my mother. When her husband finally came, ask my mother which singing and dancing happened. My mother was never received at no. It was her job, so she did it. Anyway, Olivia, now you sabi. Me, I don't know. It should make more women vigilant. It should make a lot of sisters receive sense. Because a lot of us have been acting senselessly. We have been acting as if the brain in our head is for frying eggs. No, your brain is not eggs. It's not for frying. It's for thinking. It's for self-preservation. Sister, make sure you make some money. And make sure you put some of the money somewhere for your own protection. In fact, as I was saying, Akosua Serwaa should have turned herself into an executive music producer professionally if she wanted to. After producing somebody as big as Lumba, she could have found other artists and she could have managed to produce other people. And yes, she could have taken royalties, and she should have taken royalties. I know she was doing it for her husband, but she should have taken royalties from the music business. Percentages of what he earned should have come to her account, and whether she was wife or not, so that when he picked his bags and he went, she would have still been receiving her share of the royalties. Yeah. A lot of people are following this issue, but are not looking at it as a learning curve. Oh, for me, everything is a learning curve, you know. Everything is a learning curve for me. I want to live well. To be honest, this morning as I watched it, this is one of the things that hit me. I want to live well. I want to live well and connect with people so that they will be willing to travel from Toronto to come stand at an airport to receive me. People can live one lifetime and get so much support that what happened to this woman happened this morning. Yeah, I want to live well. I want to do good. I want to be able to inspire people. I want to rile that response from people. That's the thing. So she ran it as a charity. Harriet, there are many musicians who attest to this. There are many of the Lumba dancers who attest to this. There are many people who are in the music industry, even Apietus. In some of the accounts that I have heard of Apietus, it's very clear that this woman and her money and its influence around the man was obvious, but she didn't do it professionally. Sister, if you know how to produce musicians, you better put contracts down. Even if the musician is your husband, put a contract down, my sister. Put a contract down. Make sure that there are legal ties that protects you. The stress of taking care of children alone. Oh, you will beat the children kung fu beatings. Me, my husband hasn't run away from me yet. But anytime we have had stresses in our relationship, kai, kung fu beatings, kai, cool. Yeah, I can imagine if he ran away and left me here. And that will explain some of the children's actions. Somebody said to me, you see, even her children are not really loyal. Yeah, when you are left with children on your own, when you are so frustrated, when you are lonely, when you are heartbroken, you probably will not have the mental fortitude to be building close, loving relationships with them. That, again, to me, is not rocket science. But apparently it's difficult for a lot of people to understand. Yeah. If you have been left the way she had been left, and you were bitter, you were angry, you couldn't find redress, and the children will receive kung fu beatings. Oh, they would. You will have to stand and be a man and a woman. You will not get time to be so feminine. I get that all the time. Good night, yeah. Women, women. And I'm like, those of us who are not feminine, there's a reason why we are not exactly very feminine. We are masculine because we deal with things that males should deal with. The masculine women, they deal with situations. It is not really just because of gender. People are the way they are because of the situations they deal with. The ones who pay the bills, the ones who have the pressure on them, the ones who make the decisions, those people, they have attributes. And if you leave those jobs for women to do, they will also get those attributes. If you go to most homes, the father doesn't have time to be listening to nobody's nonsense. The father is the breadwinner. He's been working the whole day. He needs peace. So when he comes home, he does not want to come and listen to a wife and children and nobody. Yeah, when he comes home, women are supposed to shush the children. Shh, your dad is home. Don't disturb your dad. Ha, ha, take his food to him. Hey, bring dad, bring dad. Yeah, when a woman is also the breadwinner, she should receive the same thing. That's the thing people don't understand. Yes, if your wife is the breadwinner, you should shush the children for her. I know you don't like this, but I'm telling you the truth. If your wife is the breadwinner, it is now your job to shush the children for her. And to make sure that she is at peace and she can work. She can make money. People who make money and are busy are short-tempered. Whether they are men or women, they are short-tempered. You don't understand. I'm a woman and she's so short-tempered. Yes, because she's busy thinking about business and progress and all these things. The reason why she's short-tempered is the reason why a lot of vibrant men are short-tempered. She's emotionally unavailable. Yes, you get a reason why. People are emotionally unavailable for a reason. Anyway, let me tell you, Papa She, if you are my friend, start becoming a Papa She. Because me, I'm becoming a Papa She. You should tell me the bitter truth, even when you know I won't like it. Tag all my friends for me. My friend, you should be honest. Tell me the truth, even when I'm being an idiot. Especially when you know that I'm not likely to like it. Particularly when you know that I will kick off because of it. Tell me the truth. You owe me that. And me too, I will do the same for you, my friend. And I will tell you the bitter truth. Don't be afraid. That is one of the things that is missing from successful people. And that's one of the reasons why the success itself becomes a trap and begins the end for a lot of them. Many people have done drugs. And when they start, their friends and their family see it, but they don't say it. They all pussyfoot around you. And after a while of being successful, you only get yes men around you. You are in trouble. Any foolishness you do goes because nobody calls you to order. Everybody needs wise counsel around them. You need people around you who will come to your house and tell you the bitter truth, like it sounds like Papa She did to Daddy Lumba. And yes, when he went and he told Lumba the bitter truth, he was ostracized. Of course, he was ostracized. Who wants to hear the bitter truth? But you see, you must be bold. At least Lumba heard the truth, whether he acted it or not. Whether he acted on it or not, he was at least told the bitter truth. I have no problems in believing the stories around that Papa She going to tell Daddy Lumba he's married and he should not be with another woman. Olivia, the definer of friends. Well, your definition of friend is not what I use, okay? So feel free. You can call whatever you want to me. You couldn't have better friends than Papa She. Friends who will come and tell you whether they started as your dancers, whether sometimes they can even be your neighbors, your enemies. But the people who tell you the truth, the people who stand for your long-term survival, the people who want you to do well in all, yeah, those are your friends, honey. I think a lot of people need redefinitions of who your friends are. And friends are not people who you drink and eat and sing and dance with, you know. So this is my definition of friend. Papa She would have gone to tell Lumba about this new wife. And I have no problems believing that he went telling truths that were not welcome. And so he got ostracized. Hey, Papa She has not spoken to Lumba for 20 years. I don't have problems believing that. I've seen how bullish Papa She can be. I can imagine Papa She going to attempt to tell Lumba some of these truths in his bullish method. And I can imagine Lumba telling you, "Medasi bebre, coffee away." Papa She, yawakosa, medasi bebre, coffee. I don't think Lumba would have called him Papa She. So yawakosa, nada yawakosa. Asema wo catch them no. Yo, me da wase bebre. What do you call? Why? Odabroni be up on my Papa She. I don't struggle to believe that. The first time I saw those things, I died laughing. Nana yawakusa. Yawakusa sama wakachirebe no. Nana yaw se wo wutimi hwemanim kasa se mo echireme. Okay, me da se bebre. Why? Nana me da se bebre. Otabroni. Bie puno na manana yaw no nsia bonte wa. Bie puno mani bie moto. I can believe that is what happened. I can believe that is what happened. Bismarck says, what should a spouse do to protect himself or herself from a situation like this? How do you secure your assets from the other person? I've told you. Have money in your own pocket. Have money. Be willing to take care of yourself and to stand. Olivia, somehow will catch her. No. Me to say, baby. Sister Vida, if it's today you go give up. If you be brave, Sister Vida, still that when they miss survive. Oh, Sister Vida. Oh, Maya shrugged. Oh, my boat. It's a very important learning experience. I know that sometimes the stories distract and sometimes you've got to take the edge off from the seriousness, and so I laugh. But what I'm discussing with you is a very serious event. There are many things to learn for both men and women. It's unfortunate that women who find themselves, as Mama Serwaa's position, are bashing her. You see? Yeah. People will bash you because that's how people behave. It doesn't necessarily reflect where you have the positions you've adopted. People and their actions is reflective of them and their positions and their journeys and their biases. But yeah, Sister Vida, if you be brave, I mean, what's in a page? So Sister Vida, and say when they miss so by. Oh, my husband gave up a long time ago. I think you should give up too. You know how people go reporting me to my husband? They report and he looks at them and he's like, it's hopeless. The situation is hopeless. At the moment, all we can do is just let her be, okay? Nothing can be done. Yeah, we've heard stories, but I don't know whether it was really true. What we know is that he was brought in as a dancer. What we know is that he came and he was aware. Papa She is one of Akosua Serwaa's greatest witnesses. Those of you who don't understand where Papa She stands on this thing, I can explain to you easily. You are for Akosua Serwaa. You were the same situation. You were working, and so you were able to stand on your 2 feet. That's the game changer for a lot of women. You've got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and survive, even if a person betrays you. You've got to be able to stand and survive, even if a person dies. You've got to be, you don't know what's about to happen in this life. So the smartest thing to do is to make sure that you are in good standing. That's the smartest thing to do. That is the smartest thing to do. Papa She is Akosua Serwaa's witness. You even fasted, but it didn't work. Well, we are picking those things gradually. Papa She is her witness. When they took the music to Despite, if you listen to the audio Despite brought out and you listen and you try and read it between the cracks, it makes me believe that people say that the deal Despite got with Lumba to be the sole distributor or the main distributor, whichever one was true, would have been negotiated through Akosua Serwaa. Sounds to me like it might be true. Because again, those who know Lumba will tell you that he was not exactly a very agreeable person. That he would have been likely to let the music sit and not give the royalties to Despite. But it makes sense also for Akosua Serwaa to do that because it was her money. And Lumba wouldn't have cared. It wasn't his money. So even if the music didn't survive or it didn't thrive, it did not really matter much because he was not losing anything. Papa She is brutally honest. He supports only what is right. He's a rare gem. I agree, Bright. Cody, I really do agree. And I want me some Papa She friends. If you have some Papa She friends, and if you have a few Papa She friends, they will tell you the truth. And it will set you free. It will set you free. I have a few of such Papa She friends. They will call you. And they will let rip. And when they drop the phone, you will sit down and you will reflect, and sense will appear in your head. You will know that you have goofed. Something happens and all the rubber stampers and all the yes men and the yes sayers are singing their chorus. You need to hear Papa She's voice. You need to hear Papa She's voice. When you are famous, when you are successful and you are changing women, yeah, you need a Papa She to tell you that that has never worked. It's not a good strategy, that it will end in tears, because it always does. You need a Papa She in your life. And you need that Papa She not to be your little boy like happened in this Lumba Papa She case. Papa She was his little boy, so he didn't really take Papa She seriously. I pray that you have the Papa She's a bit more elevated in your life. Somebody you respect. Somebody you submit to. Who will tell you the bitter truth and call you to order before disaster strikes. You need Papa She's in your life. So those of you who are now rising and you are looking for people around you, look for the Papa She's. You will need them. To keep your head out of your own ass, you will need Papa She's. And for success not to cloud your judgment, you need Papa She's. And you need Papa She's, especially Lumba. Lumba is now gone. Lumba says we should not forget Akosua Serwaa. All of us would have forgotten Akosua Serwaa if it was not for Papa She. If it wasn't for Papa She, this Team Legal Wife thing would not have gone the way it has. Papa She has stood to remind us of what Lumba himself said in the music. You've all been singing it, but we forgot. We did. It has been Papa She in radio stations. It has been Papa She almost fighting in TV stations. Yeah, Quacks, how you doing? It's good to see you. Your dad always talked about mentorship. Your dad was smart. You need a mentor. You need a wise mentor. The problem we have at the moment, especially for young black men, is that we have useless people acting as mentors. I was talking to this boy recently, and he was like, well, look, Dr. Kwekuoting has how many wives? I'm like, ring Kwekuoting in his private moments and ask him, does he have peace? He may have money, but does he have peace? And he's like, Kennedy, Japan. Pick the phone, ring Kennedy, Japan. Kennedy, Japan, at least we can see. If for nothing at all, 2 women we know in Kennedy, Japan's life, which make sure he can never know peace. 2 of his baby mamas will never let him have peace. The first one is why have I suddenly forgotten her name? The MP. What is her name? Those of you who know. Ajua Safo. Ajua Safo is the reason why Kennedy Japan will never know peace. Because Ajua Safo is doing what she's doing politically. She's doing what she's doing personally. And it's contrary to where Kennedy would like to stand. Kennedy Japan will never know peace. Usually from the political domain because of Ajua Safo. He will never know peace. The other one is Moira Dawson. Moira has also had a kid with Kennedy. And Kennedy has done a few things that Moira has been here to call him out on. I don't think Moira will stop calling Kennedy out any day soon. So those of you who aspire to be Kennedy Japan, also remember that in the rhetoric. Remember it. A person who has started exciting me, and it's a new excitement, because I was never really for some of the things that he used to say. But I've seen a couple of videos recently. The Osebo the Zara man. That is a person of interest to me at the moment, because I think what Osebo the Zara man is beginning to spew is something a lot of older, wiser men should have spewed a long time ago. I've seen 2 videos of him. One where he was talking about the fact that he regrets having multiple baby mamas. That if he was starting again, he would have had his children with 1. Yeah. Yes. Osebo the Zara man is speaking. A lot of you admire Osebo the Zara man. Well, maybe you should be mentored by your mentor. Listen to them. They are now beginning to talk. They are beginning to tell the things that they haven't spoken in the background. These men have no peace. They know no peace. A lot of them are ridiculed because of some of the choices they've made. But these are the people mentoring young men. These are the people telling young men what to do. And a lot of these people are not even being sincere about the difficulties they have in their lives around these things. Yeah. So we know Akosua Serwaa because Papa She has made sure that he followed what Lumba says we should do. Yaba. Mwah. Hi, bro. How you doing? We know Akosua Serwaa now because Papa She stood. And each one of you needs friends who will take care of your wives when the cookie crumbles. You need friends who will stand with your husbands when the cookie crumbles. You need friends who will replace children when they need to. Because this woman has been standing alone. She's been standing alone for a while. The heroines returned to the airport yesterday. For me, will at least give her some satisfaction for the sacrifices she's made all these years. The number of people who went to the airport, the number of people who were campaigning. I saw Ohemawo Jess video inviting people to come to the airport to show support to this woman. That woman would have laid in her bed yesterday seeing stars. She would cry. I had a few tears in my eye as I watched the footage. And this is me, a stranger. She would cry at night after all that. Oh, yeah, it's so good to see you. Yeah. You know, she would cry. She would feel love from all these strangers. But that's also the lesson I want to pick for you. You know, love can come from different places. It doesn't only have to come from your children. Yeah. Your children may do to you what Akosua Serwaa's children have done. They may. They are people. The arm of flesh can fail. But you see, the Lord can return that through random strangers. Yesterday, random strangers were there. I don't know if her children are still in Ghana. I don't know. But I never saw her children go to receive her at the airport. If it wasn't for all these, I saw Councillor Lutrot also inviting people and telling people that she was arriving at the airport. Yeah. You held your tears. Yeah. I had a tear in my eye when I watched it. I was so emotional. So emotional when I watched her. I saw the video when she was leaving Germany and I'm like, oh, come on. This woman should really be existing in a whole different dimension. This is not how she should be leaving Germany. She should be leaving Germany with personal assistance, with a concierge service. Yeah, she's worked. She's worked. And if she had people who were sorting her out, who were managing her, and all she did at this phase was just pick her bag and go to the airport, it will not be unusual. She has invested in a music legend. Her investment has actually paid off, you know. Her investment has paid off. And if life was fair and this woman had received fair royalties for what she invested in this musician, this woman should be going to the airport with somebody. She should have a private secretary at this point who handles affairs. Somebody should be handling all affairs. There should be a chauffeur service for her to the airport. She should receive meet and greet services at the airport. It will not be a surprise. If that is how that woman lived in Germany, it would not be it would not be out of the ordinary. But it was a few loyal people who had taken her, and the love was electric. She came with her younger daughter. Okay, I don't know. I'm openly declared about these things. I do not know. I don't know. Yeah, but you see, random strangers can do for you what family doesn't do. So don't worry too much about family sometimes. They have to. If they are willing to do it for you, it's great. If they are not willing to do for you, don't worry. If you are sincere and authentic enough, random strangers will stand in and will give to you what you would expect family to do. Complete strangers will do for you, will stand for you. Yeah, people had brought flowers. And so the reporter asked one of the girls, look at you standing all the way back. How is she going to receive the flowers? And the girl says, I know she will not receive the flowers. I know she won't even see the flowers, but I bought the flowers with her in mind. And so here I am at the airport. At the very least, when she walks out, she will see the sea of flowers. And mine is part of the flowers that will allow her to see the sea of flowers and to feel the love that we want to give her. And I'm like, wow. That this girl is willing to go buy flowers, knowing that this woman will not even see the flowers, but she's here to create an effect for this woman from a distance. Amazing. Amazing. Yes, random strangers can do for you what family doesn't do. I have seen it in my own life, and I witnessed it yesterday at that airport when the woman came out. There were people who were struggling to see her, and this is how this woman should have lived for many years. This is how she should have lived. This is the level of acknowledgement she has deserved for a long time. And thank you to all of you who, in your various ways, created that effect for that woman yesterday. Even if she doesn't receive it another day of her life, what she received yesterday is one most people don't even get. This is the kind of woman and the kind of acknowledgement she has received in the music. This is how the Lumba fans should treat this woman. So if you say that you are a Lumba fan and you have enjoyed the music and you have appreciated the legend, this is how you should treat that woman daily. It is her entitlement. What happened to her yesterday was not a favor. Favor found her to receive it, but it's actually her entitlement. This is how she should be received. This is how she should walk into spaces. These are the people who should be dealing with her because she has worked to make sure this happens. Well, they will make their choices, and I'm glad that this woman will also be fine. Papa She. I want Papa She friends. If you are my friend, start being a Papa She in my life and know that I will be one in your life. That's lesson number 2 from personality number 2. Personality number 3. There are so many influential people that Lumba knew. They had many friends. They had many rich friends, despite being one of them. But the way this story has gone, this story has polarized the rhetoric. And for that reason, not many prominent people are bold enough and are brave enough to take a stance. And most have just retreated into the woodworks because they don't want to make a choice. I saw Kengpon at the airport. And when I saw Kengpon at the airport, I thought, thank God. At least that's somebody with deep pockets who can support this woman. I don't know what her finances are like right now. But if you guess that she has been estranged for so long, and that's Jessica, I have seen you on a few of my videos and I've always wondered, do you recognize me? Do you know who I am? There are some of you from my childhood, and I wonder. I was speaking to somebody this week, and the person says, is that you? Yeah, that's me. So, Jessica, do you know me? Apart from what you see on the internet and the fact that you see my videos recently, do you know me? Do you know who I am? Sister Ajua, you apply from my Papa She friendship right here. And yes, you are accepted into the program. Anytime you see Ama Manson veering off track, going in places, ring Ama Manson. I have many friends who do that to me. Hey, Ama, I've seen these videos. It's going in this direction. I'm like, yeah. Oh, you recognize me? Okay, that's good because I recognize you. You know? Yeah. Ama, it's not like you to be making these videos. And sometimes there's a reason for it. And I'd say to them, this is the reason why I'm doing it. And they're like, okay. Or sometimes there's no reason for it. And they're like, girl. It's not coming across the way you like to come across. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. I need you people to keep me focused. Ama. All these Daddy Lumba videos are nice, but your attention should be on the Ascendancy Collective. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I need people like that. And you need papashis in your life. Every one of us needs papashis. People who will call you to order when you don't seem to have clarity. People who have a bird's eye view. They are standing from a distance so they can see the picture. 100. Yeah, okay, so you know me. Yeah. People who will see the big picture from a distance and call you. For me, one of the biggest papashis in my life is my husband. I will be busy doing whatever, and he's like, girl, what was that? What nonsense was that this morning? Have you seen the rubbish you wrote? Your typos are embarrassing. You should go and check your typos. Like, yeah. Tell me, there have to be people who are brave enough to tell you the truth. They should be able to tell you the truth. And you also do need a Kempong. Yeah, somebody said he's sponsoring. Yeah, when I saw Kempong at the airport, I realized that Akosua Serwaa will be fine. Whatever money she brought with her from Germany would be all right because she will have local support. Yeah, you need some Kempong friends with pockets deep who can support you. You do need it. Hey, what she's about to do, I don't know whether she's home for the legal challenge or what she's here for. I've not had time to follow up on all those things. Those of you who have had time to follow, you can educate me. But she is in Ghana. She's going to need money. And if you have people who have pockets that are deep, who will help you tap into their pockets, it will help. It will help with any trip to Ghana. I go to Ghana with a budget always. Yes, Manuel. It takes some balls for Kempong to make that stand and come to the airport and to be seen. He knew that he would be seen. All the cameras will see him. He wants to be for Akosua Serwaa openly. And so he did come. So these are the three people I have mentioned so far. Ernestina Brempoma Fusu inspires me to be Ernestina Brempoma Fusu for the one person. I have only one brother. For the one woman who is in my brother's life, it teaches me to do that for her. Yeah. It also makes me hope that my sisters-in-law might be able to be Ernestina Brempoma Fusu for me, because sometimes we all need an Ernestina Brempoma Fusu in our lives. 2, Papashi. I want Papashi friends, and I want to be a Papashi friend. Majority of the time, I already am a Papashi friend. So if you know that you're a good Papashi friend, your services are required in my life. I need Papashi friends. Friends who will stand with you, who will even stand against you in order to be for you. Yeah. Who will stand against your misdemeanor to help you preserve. Those friends, it's not because they always agree with you, not because they are... Sometimes they will be in your face. Sometimes they will embarrass you to call you to order. Freakers, good morning. Afishapa. They will embarrass you. Sometimes they will take you on. They will act against you. That's the Papashi friend. Don't think that having those friends is easy. When I say that I want a Papashi friend, some of you will be sitting here wanting Papashi friends. Papashi friends will come to your house. As I was telling you, I believe this is what happened in Lumba's house. One day, Papashi goes to Lumba's house. Lumba is busy frolicking with another woman, even though Papashi and Lumba knows that he's married to this other woman. And Papashi would go and preach the gospel of the Lord and tell Lumba that he is being an infidel. And he would tell Lumba the place in hell that he is likely to occupy if he doesn't repent. And he would tell... I've seen Papashi do it to so many people. I've seen Papashi and how he can be. So I'm sure he went, Bra Charles, that dear way you hey dear you. Bra Charles, what you are doing is not good. Bra Charles, why are you with another woman when you and I both know you are married? Bra Charles, what is this? What will Sister Serwaa say? What will Sister Serwaa do? Bra Charles, you are breaking Sister Serwaa's heart. And this is what Bra Charles said. Yawakosa. Nana Yawakosa. Wona wujina ha kama semsano. Nana yao. Umwadi wahu. Nana yao. Is that you discussing my issue as my peer? Don't you respect? Hey, Nana yao. And me na wakasa sem ne chireme no. Yo, Nana, me dasi bebre. Me dasi bebre is thank you very much. And that is how Lumba said it. That's not how we say it in my language. Me dasi bebre. But Lumba made his own inflection. Me dasi bebre. And so he would have told Nana, Nana ya wakusa. Asama waka chireme no. Yo, Nana, me dasi bebre. Me kwa hell. Nana ya wakusa. Me dasi bebre. Oda brony be a pro no manana ya. We are to get in them. Obi am ye pro no manana ya obi mo fie ha bi mwate. Me da masi bebre. A lot is going on behind the scenes. The appeal petition from the diaspora to the president, chief justice, and other stakeholders in Ghana. And I'm glad that people are beginning to take this on, because the way this case ends will determine a lot. Many men have not realized, but this case is a groundbreaker for a lot of women. This case is conscientizing a lot of people. Yeah. This space is teaching people many lessons. A lot of your women will advise themselves based on this case. A lot of the men think it's a women issue. It's only the women who are interested. Eugene, no. The women will advise themselves around you after this case. If the women feel that the legal system in Ghana will protect them, they will probably relax. But as the women are discovering, the judiciary in Ghana is corrupted. And if they feel that the judiciary is corrupted the way a lot of them do feel, well, they will seek individual redress. They will advise themselves. I have a friend who's moved her assets. She's moved her assets from Ghana and taken it elsewhere. And the reason why she's moved her assets and taken it elsewhere is to do with this case. Well, not just this case and a few others. There is another case that says the Supreme Court said something about people being able to acquire independent assets even as they are in marriage, and a few things. There are many things happening in the legal system which is making a lot of smart people take decisions. Deborah. So the men are not taking interest. It's Akosua Serwaa and she's a woman. You forgot that the women you are with are also women. Lariba, we are learning. Me, I'm looking at it with one kolo eye. Is that how big my eyeball has become? Yeah, people are advising themselves. And Joanna, people are advising themselves. And some of you are not noticing that the people around you are advising themselves. So this case is of interest to all of us. It teaches us a lot of things. For some of us, it will teach us to take care of our own affairs. And for some of you who thought that we will remain stupid, you will discover. Akosua Brempoma is an exceptional in-law. I don't know whether she supported foolishness whilst the brother lived, but at least since this case broke, that woman is standing firmly behind her sister-in-law. And the other sister-in-law is firmly behind the other one. We can see. Kempon, if you are looking for broke friends, I'm here, okay? Uncle Kempon, me too. When I'm coming, meet me at the airport, okay? I want Kempon friends. That is the difficult type of friends I am struggling to find. Uncle Kempon, I want you as my Kempon friend, I want Kempon friends. Ones who will be able to give me good cars to ride when I'm in Ghana. Kempon friends. Kempon friends who will say to me, girl, don't bring your bank card, I've got you. Yeah, Kempon friends who will bring posh cars to come receive me at the airport and make sure that I am protected. They had actually organized the welcome so effectively. There were police in place because they knew that the campaigns and whoever has been involved with this team, legal wife, despite. Belinda, I don't want any despite friends. Please. I don't want despite friends. Nko, mba. don't want despite friends because you see, you've gone there, so I'll go there. Uncle Despite himself recently made a video and he told us that when the issue happened, he went and gave 100,000 Ghana cedis. Who did he give the 100,000 Ghana cedis to? To the second woman, right? And then he gave money to this one. But Despite is doing duplicity in my book. I don't want Despite friends. No. I want friends who will choose based on principles. But you must choose. I don't want Botrobojo friends. So yeah, to me, Despite is a Botrobojo friend. From Akosua Serwaa's perspective, I doesn't want. The men are very interested though. They better be. We will be tied you if you are married and not a legal wife supporter. Your wife will give it to you. That's how my boss was drawn into this brouhaha. Really? I don't want any Despite friends. Those of you who want Despite friends, go find it. Me, I don't want. Personally, I want a Kempon friend. I don't want Despite friends. I have many Despite friends. I don't want them. I want Kempon ones. I want ones who will choose, put their neck on the line, and have the balls to let people know where they stand. I even like the ones who will stand against me, but let me know that they are against me. I like it. I don't like diplomatic friends. Because that is what Despite is doing, being a diplomat. He declared 2 wives in the video. Okay, again, me, I don't want any Despite friends. The money doesn't mean anything to you. Actually, dear, for me, the money is not the only determinant. Listen very carefully. I want a Kempon friend, not a Despite friend. From the rhetoric, and I don't know anybody's bank balances, but from the rhetoric, from what I have picked up about these people, it wasn't anyway, if there's been a video, I don't know. I just heard an audio. Yeah. Adelma, how you doing? I don't want a Despite friend. I have too many of those. Diplomatic friends. Left, right friends. I don't want. No, Lariba, I want a resolute friend. I want a resolute friend. I want a friend who knows where they stand and they are not afraid to show it. If they are my friend, they should be willing to let the world know they are my friend. They should not be my friends behind smoke screens. No. They should be my friend in the open. When the TV cameras are there, they should be there. Yes. I want a Kempon. I don't want a Despite. I want an Apietus as a friend. Apietus, I have music to produce. So, Bra Apietus, those of you who know Apietus, tag him for me. Apietus, I want... Oh, I'm being dead serious. Apietus, I want to... And talking about that, can you guys tag Wodimai and tell him to call me? I see he's in Dubai. Yeah? Please tag Apietus for me. I know he's now on the media. I've seen him on a few TikTok places. Maybe he's not just on TikTok. What is Apietus' username? Mona. Apietus in the mix. Tell him I want him in the mix for me. I want to mix some things. I can sing. Charity, me, I'm not naming anybody after you. I'm just reading what you said. A truthful and a loyal friend like Kempon, not greedy ones like that one. I don't know which one you mean, but me. Yes. DL issues is a listing. Please, Ajwali Dia, explain. Sister Mary, I'm always here, you know. I'm always here. I never go anywhere. I produce and I create, I curate, and I produce on this page daily. Akoto Mills, I see you. Akoto, how are you doing? For being there this morning, for listening. I really appreciate you. Those of you who are here, and whilst you are here, before I continue this business, I'm tired of poverty, okay? I'm sick and tired of poverty. Because I'm looking at this Akosua Serwaa case and I'm thinking money is necessary. Money is very necessary. You need the money to be able to be flying all these different flights to Ghana and back. She flew in July. She's flown again this January. Ew, it takes some money. And you need money. You need money to hire lawyers. You need money to pay for legal teams. You need money. You need money to protect your rights and to defend your case. You need money. Me, I need money. But the problem is that the way my life is constructed at the moment, the money is not money. So I've started something called the Ascendancy Collective. It's a group of people who want to get ourselves from point A to point B by the works of our hands, by changing some of our behaviors, by setting up assets, by marketing some of our skills, especially those of you who are professionals. I want to teach you to take the skills you already know and to use it to create products, yeah, and to sell those products and make money. If you are interested, just write Ascendancy or Collective on this video. I will reply to you with the links to go and check the products out. There is one particular product. It's called Assets Launch Vault. It's a $27 product. I'm not asking for $1 million. $27. It will walk you through how to create your assets and sell it in 7 days. Day 1, this is the idea. Day 2, this is what you do. Day 3, go and produce this. Day 4, connect this. Day 5, put it here. Day 6 and day 7, launch it and put it on the open internet. Yeah, last weekend I did that course following the same principles, and I have thrown it in here. And those of you who've got the course, I am counting down your days, and I want to know if you are able to follow the system to be able to get to the outcomes we are looking for. I have a group outside the course. It's also called the Ascendancy Collective. The Ascendancy Collective is those of us who are on this program. We will all be in that course. That one, I will come daily in there also to tell you what to do, and you go and do them. I envisage that most of you would be on the Ascendancy Collective for 12 months to be able to change your life completely from point A to point B. So, Akoto, amen, and God bless you too. Whilst you are here about the Daddy Lumba, let me also remind some of you, Mama Lumba, you need money, okay? And even the Daddy Lumbas themselves, they need money. Money is one of the most secure ways to make sure your rights are protected, your needs are met. So come, let's make some. If you are interested in that, just send Ascendancy or Ascend Collective. Yes, any of those things. When I finish the feed, I will reply to you with the link. You go and check them out, and then we work together. As for me, I have learned many lessons, and so I am off to go and reflect. But I am grateful that I have seen so many of you make this woman have a heroine's return home. Yeah. She has returned the way she should be. The love you showed her, incredible. And I saw her demeanor. It's significantly different from the demeanor we saw when she came for the 1 week and when she was leaving. I think when she was leaving after the 1 week, when you people had seen her with a black polythene bag and you were here laughing, that was when she was beginning to see that the second wife was going to exit. She was beginning to see that there was a chance that she would lose everything she's worked for. She was beginning to see the troubles ahead, and you could see the bags under her eyes, the stress on her face. I saw yesterday when she was leaving the airport, she looked much younger. She looked refreshed. She looked happy. That is what hope and happiness can do to you. Hope and happiness can return you. It can revitalize your skin. It can beat back years of bags under your eyes. Yeah, I saw pictures and videos even when she had flown. And cabin pressure doesn't do great things to even people my age. I can imagine her age is even worse. But even after the cabin pressure, when she came out to the people at the airport, she looked so much better. Her spirit seemed much lighter. She seemed, and for that hope you've given this woman, may the good Lord bless all of you. Whatever role you played in getting this woman, those of you who are on the media and were promoting the fact that she was returning. When I first saw people on their videos telling other people the woman was coming home. I did not understand what you were trying to do. But now that I've seen how many people turned up to the airport to show support for this woman, I finally get it. Sister Abna Serwaa. Medamu nyina se bebre. Se me nyina ti se mi niaba. Serwaa kutu. All the Serwaa kutus are retiring you here. Me, I'm no Serwaa kutu. I'm Akutu Serwaa. Hey, I'm Akutu Serwaa. We are flipping the rhetoric. This your sister. It's invested in this your sister. To make sure that this your sister is good. Because the one person who can guarantee that is this your sister. And you, my sister, receive sense. And you, my brother, who's not sure that women are receiving sense, know that they are and act accordingly. Ajua Papa B, how you doing? I woke up early. I watched Akosua Serwaa for you. My heart was full of joy for her. And I'm just curious to know what she is home for and how that is going to go. I wish her the very best of luck. If this woman is able to win some things back, it may convince more crazy women to do what crazy women have been doing since time immemorial. Those of you who like crazy women to continue to act foolishly in their interest, but for the benefit of your interest, you better pray that this case wins, this woman wins this case, and such foolish women continue their professional activities as foolish women. Because if this woman loses her case, like has happened in the past, all the foolish women will retire. They will receive sense. Anyway, hopefully I can get some sleep. Finally, my body is tired. Oh. Whew. Send me a message if you are interested on the ascendancy programs, and then we will reconvene later on, yeah?